You ever walk by a construction site and think, man, I wonder what it'd be like to design one of those? You're not alone. Being an architect seems like a pretty cool gig, right? But let me tell you, it ain't all blueprints and fancy buildings. Just like any job, there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye. Ask 10 different architects what they do on a daily basis, and you'll get 10 different answers. Big city or small town, big firm or solo act, it all plays a role in what an architect actually does all day. That's why before you jump headfirst into a career in architecture, it's important to figure out what your ideal workday looks like. Do you picture yourself sketching skyscrapers, hunched over blueprints, or wrangling contractors? Let's break down some of the different roles architects play and see if any of them fit your style.
Let's start with the folks you probably picture when you hear the word architect, the design architects. These are the artists, the visionaries, the ones who take a client's dream and turn it into a tangible design. Now, if you're thinking big city high-rises and cutting-edge concepts, you're on the right track. These folks are usually found in large firms putting their artistic skills to the test on big-budget projects. We're talking sketching, 3D modeling, creating those slick presentations that make clients say, wow. It's a lot of right-brain activity, a whole lot of creative visualization. But don't let the glamour fool you. This gig is competitive. You need a killer portfolio to stand out from the crowd, and the hours can be long, especially when deadlines loom. But hey, if you're someone who thrives on the creative process, who loves pushing boundaries and seeing your visions come to life, then design architecture might just be the ticket. Just be ready to work for it.
Now, on the flip side, you've got your production architects. These are the folks who take those beautiful designs and turn them into the nuts and bolts of a building. We're talking blueprints, technical drawings, the nitty-gritty details that make sure a building doesn't fall down. Production architects are like the engineers of the architecture world. They need to be detail-oriented, technically minded, and able to translate a design into a language that contractors can understand. It's not always the most glamorous work, but it's essential to getting the job done right. Think of it like this. The design architect is the composer, and the production architect is the conductor. Both are crucial to creating a masterpiece. So if you're someone who loves the technical side of things, who gets a thrill from seeing a project come together piece by piece, then production architecture might be your calling. All right, let's talk about the big dogs, the principals. These are the veterans, the ones who've climbed the ladder, paid their dues, and now they're running the show. They've got decades of experience under their belts, a Rolodex bursting with contacts, and they command a salary that reflects their expertise. Principals are involved in every aspect of a project, from the initial design concepts to the final construction. They're mentors to younger architects. They negotiate with clients. They're the face of the firm. It's a high-pressure, high-reward kind of gig. Now, becoming a principal isn't something that happens overnight. It takes years of hard work, dedication, and a little bit of luck. But if you're willing to put in the time and effort, and you've got the drive to lead, then maybe one day you'll find yourself calling the shots.
Chapter 4. Spec Writers, the wordsmiths of architecture. You know those massive books of technical jargon that nobody ever seems to read? Yeah, those are called specifications, and they're the domain of the spec writer. Now I know what you're thinking. Sounds thrilling, Mike, but hear me out. Spec writers may not be sketching skyscrapers, but they play a crucial role in making sure a building meets all the necessary codes and standards. They're the ones researching materials, writing detailed descriptions, and making sure everything is up to snuff. It's a job that requires meticulous attention to detail, a love of language, even the technical kind, and the patience of a saint. So, if you're a grammar geek who loves digging into the finer points, spec writing might just be the perfect fit.
Now, if you're looking for a little bit of everything, a chance to wear multiple hats and be involved in all aspects of a project, then a mid-size or small firm might be the way to go. These firms may not be tackling the Burj Khalifa, but they handle a wide variety of projects, from residential homes to small commercial buildings. And because they're smaller, architects in these firms often get to do a bit of everything. Design, production, client meetings, you name it. It's a great way to gain experience in all facets of the profession and figure out what you're really passionate about. Plus, There's a certain charm to working on smaller scale projects, being more hands-on, and building closer relationships with clients.
Now, for those of you with an entrepreneurial spirit who dream of being your own boss, there's always the option of hanging out your own shingle and becoming a sole practitioner. Now let me tell you, this path ain't for the faint of heart. Being your own boss means long hours, wearing all the hats and dealing with the ups and downs of running a business. It's not just about designing buildings anymore. It's about finding clients, managing finances, and doing all the other stuff that comes with being a small business owner. But if you thrive on independence, if you're a self-starter who loves a good challenge and you're willing to put in the work, then going solo can be incredibly rewarding. Just make sure you've got a good support system and a healthy dose of grit.
Now, before you can even think about calling yourself an architect, you've got to pay your dues as an intern. This is where you learn the ropes, make the coffee, and spend countless hours hunched over a computer, drafting and redlining drawings. It's not always glamorous, but it's an essential part of the journey. You'll be working under the guidance of experienced architects, learning the ins and outs of the profession, and building the skills you'll need to succeed. Internships can be tough, no doubt about it. The pay is often low, or non-existent. The hours can be long, and you'll be doing a lot of the grunt work. But it's a chance to learn from the best, make connections, and build your portfolio.
So, there you have it. A glimpse into the diverse world of architecture. It's not all glamorous design studios and soaring skyscrapers. It's about finding the niche that suits your skills and passions. Maybe you're a creative soul drawn to the world of design, or maybe you're a technical whiz who loves the challenge of bringing those designs to life. Maybe you dream of running your own firm, or maybe you're content working behind the scenes, making sure the details are just right. Whatever path you choose, remember this. Architecture is more than just a job, it's a calling. It's about shaping the world around us, creating spaces that inspire, and leaving a lasting legacy. So go out there, find your niche, and build something amazing.